Hey guys, Regina Floyd of Freedom to Live Life Well, coming to you from fabulous Las Vegas. And today is Intentions Day 20 Leadership. The word for the day, or the topic that comes up for me today, is leadership. And part of this is because of the Think and Grow Rich Mastermind call that I get on Monday through Friday. And today we were going through part of Chapter 7, I believe, on leadership and talking about the attributes of leadership. And what's really cool about this is that last night my daughter got to be in a performance at a local library here. And it was a community thing with the different schools participating. She goes to a performing arts magnet school where she performs in a singing group that's part of the school. And last night we went to a collection of different students from all the different schools that did some speaking parts, and there were also some dancing and vocal groups. And even though her group performed in the beginning of this whole gathering, we decided to sit through the whole thing and watch all the other different performers. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't want to do that, but my daughter wanted to stay and watch the other vocal groups. Well, the really cool thing is, in doing that, there was a couple different groups that participated, and one was a dance group. And as we're watching this group, there was one particular young lady that really stood out in the entire group. And you could just really tell that she had self-confidence, that she had courage. She was obviously the leader, because in watching the performance, you just saw this young lady just doing her performance, flawlessly, and you could just tell that she knew what she was doing. She had practiced what she was doing. She was leading the group. They were all watching her and keeping up with her. And I leaned over to my daughter and I asked her, I said, "Can you tell who the leader is in that group up there?" And my daughter said yes, and she pointed out the girl. And so we got to talking about how, having that leadership ability and that leadership skill, and how this young lady really stood out. And we talked about why she stood out as the leader of this group. And my daughter is super, super competitive. And she loves to be the center of attention and wants to be the best at what she does. And so it was an opportunity to teach my daughter and to just point out in someone else, in another performer, how the leadership skills and her leadership abilities really stand out, even to people in the crowd who don't know her. I didn't know this young lady. We don't know who she is, but it was obvious who the leader in that entire group was just by watching her perform. And so I had an awesome opportunity to explain to my daughter, and we talked about how, different roles that she wants to go after in her group, how she could do that, and some ways she could do that by first having courage. The courage to just do what she knows she needs to do without looking around everybody else for approval. And I told her, I said, if you know your singing part, or you know your vocal part, or you know your dance part, and you know it so well that you don't have to look at someone else to follow them, then do you think that might make you look like a leader? And she said, yes. And I said, well, depending on what you want to achieve in your group and how you want to stand out, then you know what you need to do to look like a leader. And it was just an awesome opportunity to just kind of put that idea in my daughter's head and let her figure out her role as a leader and how she wanted to take part in leadership in her groups that she's in. And, I really think that, leaders do have courage. Leaders are willing to just step out and do the things they need to do, even when no one else around us is doing that. A lot of times in entrepreneurial things, we are very different from other people. We do things differently. We walk away from the job mindset. We walk into, taking control and ownership of our own lives, and that's very different from the norm. You become the 3% when you do things that other people won't do. And I just really enjoyed the call this morning. I encourage you to get on that call. I'll provide the details in the description area of this video. And I just encourage you to really think about leadership. just really think about, how are you leading in your life? How are you leading others? And it doesn't have to be, the tyrant leadership. It can be leading by example. I encourage you to think about that in your business, in your life, in your children. If you have children, think about how you, how you demonstrate leadership in your life to them. It's really huge. And after having a conversation with my daughter, I just really hope and believe and pray that by the things I'm doing, I'm showing her an example of leadership and able to talk to her about that. And I hope it provided some value today, at least giving you something to think about. Take care, make it a fabulous day. Talk to you tomorrow on day 21. Take care. Bye-bye.